Hello there. It's Wednesday, 7 o'clock. Johnny Daniel, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! Coming at ya. How are ya? So, have a couple things for ya. One, if you have not picked up your catalog packet, please let me know. If you would like a copy of the catalog, please let me know. Second, I have to brag a little. So, Miss Serena, one of our regular crafters, her daughter, hi Lise, her daughter Patricia, sorry, nicknames, made the paper for her swimming. I'm so proud of her, and it's back. Obviously, how do you do virtual swimming? But anyway, so with that being said, I'm going to start heading over to the table, and we are going to get a few things accomplished tonight. So hold on, I'm going to flip you around. So for tonight, hey Serena. Yeah, I was talking about Bez. So for tonight, let me line up a little bit better. We are creating, I should say I am, but hey, a brand new technique that I don't know if you've ever heard of before, and I don't even know what to call it. It's literally you dip the dies in ink and then you cut with them. So, dip dies? I don't know. Dippin' dies? Honestly, I don't know. So, there you go. There's our first of the confusion, right? So, please comment. Please comment in the box below. So, that way, you will get the instructions for this card. And if you order 50 or more by Monday, then you will get all the materials as well. But I think for this one, the huge thing is the instructions. So, shall we? I think, yeah. So, this is going to be very similar. I'm not changing a whole lot on this one. This is the sample, so this is very similar to what we're going to actually be creating tonight, okay? So if you join me, please comment and say hello. Serena, I know you're on with me, so there you go. Okay. So for tonight, some of it's from the Occasions catalog. I'm trying to not use mini because that's not the proper term anymore. So some of it's from the Occasions catalog, the pink cover one. And some of it's from the brand new annual catalog. So, hey Barb, how are ya? So for tonight, the new stuff, tailor-made tags dies. How about I just read this stupid thing? Okay, got it, it's done. All right, so as you can see, there's 10 pieces. Yes, I put that on all of mine. Why? Because when I'm doing classes, I know that 10 need to go back in there. I know, silly, but it works for me. I had a couple packs. I started doing this towards the end of last catalog. So like during COVID, basically, I reorganized. And I found out that like Stitch Shapes, which is a couple years old, just retired. I was probably missing half of them because I didn't know how many were supposed to be in there, and who knows? You know, it is what it is. So anyways, so there's varied, all stitched tags, and then there's toppers and all kinds of cute little things. So, kind of a cool thing, okay? So, Beauty of the Earth Designer Series paper is what we're going to be dealing with tonight. But I'm going to tell you, it's, one specific page in the set tonight is what we're dealing with, okay? So this is the page. Let me flip over and start this way. So this is watercolor, very loose pine trees is how I would say this, okay? But to me, this was very fall, and I didn't necessarily, I wanted something darker, more masculine, but I didn't want bright, cheery, flower, pink, you know, spring kind of card. I wanted something a little bit deeper, shall we say. So, not this side, but look at this side. And I was like, oh my gosh, if you cut this and you've got mats, awesome, right? And then the middle, you've got more blank with just a little bit. Okay, so I'm done now. All right, so this is the piece that was cut, that's left over from the other, because there's 2 pieces per set, right? So this is the piece that was left over, and then, so I've cut, obviously, one for the sample and one for tonight, and then this is what the middle portion looks like of that card, or of that designer series paper rather. So I thought kind of cool. All right, so also on my table, let me go through the paper first so we can get that out of the way. I should have a white envelope, but it didn't make it to the table, and that's okay. I do have a thick basic white piece of cardstock cut at 4 1/4 by 11 and scored at 5 1/2. I also have at door number 2, no, I'm just kidding, Evening Evergreen cardstock. This is one of our new in colors. This is what we're going to be using tonight. Now obviously if you wanted to lighten this up, you could pull the blues out of this, you could pull the pinks out of this, you could pull some browns out of this. Just pick a color, right? What's great is in the catalog, under the designer series paper, that one specifically, it has all the coordinating colors. You might need to put your glasses on, but it has all the coordinating colors for that specific designer series paper. So when you're ordering, make sure to look at those coordinating colors, because if you're doing a project, wouldn't it be great to have something that matched, right? If you're buying anyways, right? So just an FYI for you. All right, so we have the card base. We have, this is Evening Evergreen. This is cut at 5 1/4 by 4. Okay. And then this is obviously our inner mat from the Beauty of the Earth Designer Series paper. And this is cut at 5 by 3 3/4. Okay. I have my Evening Evergreen ink pad. I can say that 3 times fast. Can't say Fresh Freesia yet very well though. And I've got basic white cardstock, but not the thick one. This is going to be for the cutouts, the tags. Now you can use thick also, but it's a little more expensive. So, you know, when it's not absolutely needed, I tend to not use it, right? So where it's absolutely needed, if you're doing a 3D box and you need a little bit more structure and you're gluing a whole bunch of stuff to it, use the thick. Also, if, for card bases, amazing, because you can write. I'm pretty heavy-handed and you don't see the bumps on the back, okay? So that's the why. And then we've got Simply Elegant trim tonight. I'm going to be using the gold out of it, but gold or silver, so your choice. And then I've got the oval occasions as well, some clear blocks, Stampin' Mist cleaner, you know, all the typicals on my table, as well as some Stampin' Seal Plus and some dimensionals for this project. The list will go out later to you guys, and you will be ready to go. Okay, so let's begin. Because, hello, that's what we're here for, right? So, quick. I am going to fold this guy in half. The mountain side is what stays on the outside. We are closing up our mountains or closing up our bumps, and they go on the inside. All right, so I've got my Stampin' Seal Plus. I am grabbing it and attaching my Evening Evergreen to my base. Sorry, I had to stop for a second because I don't know, I can't do things straight and talk at the same time. So here we are. Alrighty, and then we've got our designer series paper that's going to go on top of that. Okay, done. Now, if you're doing super delicate, so if something's fragile or something's of foil, instead of how I smoothed out like that, instead of doing that, flip it over and smooth out from the inside so you don't get fingerprints on your foil, okay? No, I'm not smart enough to have a rag, or I'm not smart enough to wear gloves, okay? So there we go. All right, so now I've got my beloved piece, and I'm gonna do, let's see, I'm gonna do a happy birthday card. So I need to get some blocks. Blocks and blocks and blocks. Okay. So I've got my happy birthday. Let's put that on this one. And I'm gonna do happy birthday, and I'm gonna do sweet friend. I'm doing just like the sample. And I think I'm gonna do hugs and kisses or time to celebrate. Time to celebrate. Okay. Now you could use all the same block. I just don't want to have to clean in between, which is why I'm doing what I'm doing. Okay. So I'm gonna grab my card base, and my happy birthday is what's gonna go inside. Okay. So I'm going to do that first just to get it out of the way. Not getting the birthday out of the way, just the stamping. Okay, so there we go. Okay, and now that's going to get put to the side. What we are going to do next are these beloved dies, the dip dies, right? Okay, so it doesn't matter which one is which as far as what order we stamp them in. So we're going to do time to celebrate. You want to go straight down, don't rock. Hold it for a couple seconds. Let that ink go down into that paper. Okay? You will get a nice crisp image. If you don't get a crisp image and it's a little bit blotchy, that's because you've got too much ink in your pad. If you have not consistent ink, that means you probably don't have enough. And if you're using photopolymer instead of the red rubber, then you need to grab some kind of cushion. Can be a magazine. It can be a Pierce mat. Let me show you. It can be anything, old mouse pad, but I will tell you this. You want to make sure it goes underneath your scratch so you don't end up stamping and getting ink on it, because you can't get it out. Okay? So just a good tip for you. Alrighty, so now what we're gonna do is we're grabbing my chosen die, and I've got just a magnet from my refrigerator. I tried it, you know, I put the tip up there this morning, I can't remember, and I was like, yeah, use the take your pick tool with the putty. No, better use the magnet, because you don't have to physically touch. It'll just grab it for you. Awesome. All right, so I gotta make some room because I gotta bring up the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So give me just 2 seconds here. It's right here. Literally right here. And I just gotta find where I put my platform. Right here. All right, so for this one, you're also gonna need a kitchen sink. Yes, I mean it. So why do I say that? Because when you do your pads, your cutting plates rather, when you do them and have loose ink, for lack of better terms, on your dies, you're going to want to rinse your dies and your cutting plates when you're done. If you are still doing other ones, either pay attention on what side. Like for me, I'm going to run two, so I'm going to do one left and one right so they don't kind of rub on each other, shall we say. But I'm going to tell you, if you need to, grab a wet wipe or something and just kind of blotch off. Do not rub this way, because all those fibers are going to stick in everything that's cut unless they're brand spanking new. So you want to just blot. not blotch, blot. Okay, so we've got our machine set up. But John, we haven't inked it yet. No, we haven't. So guess what? I'm actually going to move this a tiny bit over. And we're going to do here. And I'm going to see if it shows up enough once the screen catches up to me. Because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. Okay? All right, I think we're going to be fine. All right, so here's my die. Stitch side down, because that's the detail and that's where it cuts, right? All right, now with this is a foam ink pad. So do not drag it across and do not push it really far down in there because it will cut your pad. I'm telling you this ahead of time so you do not come back to me and say you cut your pad, okay? So what you're going to do is you're literally going to drop, okay? And I'm going to grab a pen just because my fingers end up completely covered, okay? And so I'm going to grab a pen and I'm just going to tap, tap, tap. And I'm going to go around a couple times, and here's why. Because I've got pressure points of where I'm hitting, right? So I want my ink to be evenly distributed, so I'm making sure that I hit different points of the die. This time vice the last time. Got it? And yeah, I slipped off of there, so now I gotta clean my pen. But hey, okay. So now I grab my magnet, and I'm gonna grab one side of it, and here's the why. Because I wanna be able to drop one of my corners on there, and then kind of peel off my magnet, okay? So I'm gonna grab here, and I'm gonna get close enough. I can feel it. And look at that. Perfect, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab here. The reason I didn't have it in the center is I pretty much have my entire thing to line up, right? I have almost the whole thing that I can see, for lack of better terms. So I'm going to put it down. Now, when you put it down, you don't want to slide. You don't want to do anything. Why is that? Because you're going to get smears, right? So you're going to try to keep it as still as possible. I hope you can still see this. I think you can. I think it's still on camera. Where's my other plate? All right. And yes, these are on back order right now. Yes, you can still order them, but they're on back order till the end of the month. So if you're getting close, you might want to get one. Just because it's so far out. The other thing is the in color gems, the new ones. If you're interested in buying them, they went to not orderable status already. We're just not even going there. So let me know if you're interested. I will keep track of when they come back in stock. And I'll contact you to ask you how many packs you want. So that way you don't have to keep track of it. Okay? So just let me know if you're interested or not. And that's all there is to it. It's not a commitment to buy. It's just, hey, I'm interested. Okay, so I'm going to grab here and I'm going to pull this straight off because I don't want smears, right? So there's my one. Now my ink is still a tiny bit wet, so we're just going to stick this to the top because I have one more to go, right? Because we're going to do two. So I am doing the same as I did before. And I'm pushing, pushing, pushing. Now I don't have to be as precise this time. Why is that? Oh, because it's already been previously inked. So I can like go a little bit lighter and it'll be fine. Okay. Now I'm going to grab my magnet, go down, go down, go down. There we go. Oh, how nice. It left a little present for me. So now I'm going to line this up as best I can and pull the magnet off. Okay? And then I am putting and running through. And hopefully with any luck, we'll have two that work and it'll be awesome. What do you guys think so far? It's an interesting concept, right? And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what else could I do? Like, I was thinking about the succulents, that huge die, and if we inked it in like different spot. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm done now. So I'm grabbing here and I'm moving my platform across the way. And all right. And I'm leaving those to the side because I need to rinse them later. All right. And then I am pushing that off and look at that. Yay! Let's see if this, and that dot came off my, it's a good day. It is such a good day. So what do you guys think of this? Can you come up with ideas of what to do with this? It like opens up a whole nother world, doesn't it? So, and you know what I was just thinking? So this one, I turned around so it wasn't backwards, but hey, so somebody's gonna get a backwards one. It is okay, or I'm gonna do it just a touch bit different. Hi Cheryl, how are you, hun? You'll have to catch up. It's a new technique, so you'll want to watch the whole thing, okay? So this one, I think I'm going to tie differently and not together and do 2 separate tags. Yeah, it happens, doesn't it? And it is okay. If you're just joining me, Miss Cheryl, I just finished stamping it sideways instead of how I wanted it. So that is the why of what's going on, but it is what it is. So yes, I am actually tying a bow with the cord. And I'm going to adjust a tiny bit. Will it stay? Yeah, kind of. It'll stay enough on a tag on a card. I probably wouldn't trust it to like hold anything per se, you know, like on a gift bag or anything like that, because it would probably come loose. So yeah, it is an interesting technique. It works way better if your ink pads are properly inked. Like anything, right? So I am going to tag or tie a bow, not tag, tie a bow on the tag. Buh. Too many things going through my head right at the moment. So this is Evening Evergreen, if you're wondering. But I have to say the only one that's like really tongue-tying me is Fresh Freesia. I don't know why, but that specific one is giving my tongue a hard time. I can do Pale Papaya. I can do, let's see, Polished Pink Soft Succulent. But Fresh Freesia, sometimes it comes out and other times it does not. So if you see me struggling, it's probably because of that color. Alrighty, so I'm going to grab some dimensionals here, and I'm going to just do this a little bit differently, even though I had planned on doing it exactly the same. And that's how life works, right? So we're grabbing 2 dimensionals per, and boy, I just pulled my bow. No! Forget it. I'm trimming the end off. Okay, all fixed. You didn't see anything. Okay. All right, so time to celebrate. And this one, oh, my bow's underneath. I need to rotate that. And Sweet Friend. And if you want to keep with the tag theme, you're more than welcome to do one inside. But I did not. So there we go. I wonder if it would have enough in it still. Nah. Okay. So anyways, can't do that. I thought we could. So that's what I have for you guys tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. And which one do you like better? Separate or tied together? I like both of them. but it's just very different. So, anyways, that's all I have for you tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. StampinWithJonnie.com. Follow me and have a great evening. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hey, Pam. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.